Alrighty, hey traders, we're going to be looking at the mining sector boom. Mining sector boom. I was actually thinking, or I was sort of hoping more for a flush down in the mining sector to give me that good buying opportunity, especially in the gold sector, but we didn't get that. But there is something amazing happening with the silver mining stocks, and that's what I want to share with you. Plus, also going to be looking at something really interesting happening with gold. There's a bit of a awesome bit of a triangle pattern forming in gold, and potentially a bit of a false breakout already happened in gold. I'm going to share that with you as well too. And then what I want to do is right now is I want to share something really interesting when it comes to the stock market. And this one indicator that I'm looking at right now when it comes to the stock market is giving us a massive, massive warning sign that we are in the midst of something. And I will share with you in just a minute. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. If you haven't done so yet, guys, first thing in the description, if you need help, if you're struggling with your trading right now, you need this course. Phase number 1's for you. That you're going to get your shit sorted with phase number 1, okay? If you're looking for some good trading system or a good trading system and some learning how to read the markets properly, phase number 2 is for you. And then phase number 4, you're gonna love that amazing sort of X factor training as well too. Okay, so just go get the help you need. Okay, it's free, guys. Go get the help you need. I promise you that if you're struggling with the trading right now and you're trying to find answers, that free course will help you. All right. Even if you never do business with me at all, guys, just go get the help you need. Okay, it's for free. Anyway, guys, I am finishing off, me and some of my private clients are finishing off this week, and what an incredible week it was. Such an incredible week. I had a few small losses in there, but then I had like 130% profit there. I had recently just a nice, a beautiful short-term cash generator trade today as well too. Nice in and out very, very quickly. In yesterday, out today. Nice, good 40% return on my risk. It's an incredible week, guys. And guess what? It's just getting started. Now, if you're wondering like what sort of system I'm using, again, in the free trading course, guys, I share the exact pattern that I use that I look for these cash generator trades. Anyway, just go get the help you need, okay? It's free. So, guys, an incredible week. And I hope you guys are not risking too much, okay? One of the biggest keys to my success is not risking too much and understanding that some of these trades I'm getting into, I'm going to have to get out for a loss. Just be okay with that, okay? Be okay with that up front and just accept that, okay, I'm getting into a trade right now and this actually may be a loss, okay? So just please keep that in mind. That's the biggest thing for your long-term success. Okay, John, shut up with the mumbo jumbo bullshit. Show me the chart. Alrighty, I'll show you the chart. Anyway, let's actually get straight into the market. So let's actually start off with the gold mining stocks here, because what I was saying to you, what I've been saying all week was this. I was hoping to see this GDX chart, okay? Let me actually just bring up a blank chart here. Bring up a blank chart. And as we can see, looking at this GDX chart, I was really hoping for a flush down below this low here, because if we did get this flush down below the low here, that would have created, now, hang on, it actually still may happen, okay? But at the moment, we're getting there's a lot of buying activity coming in through here, okay? I'll talk about that in the volume in just a minute. But let me talk about this slingshot pattern here. If you've been watching me for the last few weeks, I've been saying that I've been waiting to see this happen here, all right? I'm waiting to see a push down first, then not much going on, and then I move up to the upside. But you know what? We may not get that. We may not get the flush down, and we may just be getting ready to break out to the upside now. This is really, really interesting. This is exactly what Bitcoin did around 30,000 before we shot up to 50,000. I'll share that with you. I'll share the exact same pattern with you in just a minute. But what we're developing right now in the gold mining stocks is we're developing this sort of triple bottom here. Triple bottom here. What was that, John? It's a triple bottom. It's a bottom, right? There's a 1 bottom, a 2 bottom, a 2, 3 bottom. We get a flush down, all right? So remember, guys, this is a gold mining stocks. So we didn't get the flush down yet, okay? We still could, but look what's happening here. Let me zoom right in now. That's the big picture, and small picture, big picture. To be one of the best sort of techniques that has really helped me with the markets is looking at what's happening right now. Okay, here we've got these small bars, and then we've got like a nice up bar today with a good volume. Okay, cool. But then squeezing out to see where we are in the big picture as well too. Again, guys, in the free trading course in phase number 2, I actually have 3 awesome chart reading videos that helps you understand exactly more about what I just said there. Okay, that goes for like an hour long. I'm not gonna bore you with all that here. Okay, but we can see here, right? Look what's happening is that we didn't get a breakdown. Again, that's what I was hoping for, because generally that generally creates that slingshot. We didn't get that, but the thing that we could be creating is a descending triangle pattern. But the descending triangle pattern could be seeing a break to the upside. Now, the thing about triangle patterns is that there's no guarantees of it happening anywhere, right? Just like any pattern, just like a lot of the times when you see a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder formation like that, a lot of the times, probably 8 times out of 10, that's not a reversal pattern anymore. If you guys do your study and do your analysis, you'll notice a head and shoulder pattern, which you think is a reversal, is actually more like a continuation pattern. I've seen more times this scenario happen than this here, right? This is probably happens a couple of, maybe 20% of the time, 80% of the time you see a head and shoulder formation. It's probably just a resting phase before we go for a big move again. Just do your analysis, guys. You'll be able to see these big head and shoulder formations. Every now and then they work out really well, but more times than not, that old school of thought, like the textbooks, no. Again, you'll be able to start to see that. But the purpose of me saying that is that whatever we think about the whole textbook of what used to happen is total bullshit, right? And it's going to lead you down the wrong path, because we think, like, for example, right now, a descending triangle pattern means it's definitely going to, it's descending, we're going to definitely get a breakdown. Now, yes, if we do get a breakdown, it's got a nice pattern, then we could start to see a lot more downside in the mining stocks, and we still can right now, okay? We could develop like this from here, and then we go to a bit of a break to the downside, and then away we go for a little bit. We can still develop that. But what can also happen, what happened with Bitcoin is, and what happens sometimes is that if I bring up my drawing tools, right, we can just go through to here, and what can happen is we start to do something like this, okay? Something like this, and then suddenly we break to the upside, and then we start to have a big move to the upside. Let me bring up the Ethereum. I was looking at this for a potential trade on Ethereum. Anyway, I'm not in Ethereum yet, but I was just looking for a pattern. Anyway, let me go back to Bitcoin here. Go back to Bitcoin. Let me go to the daily chart here for a minute. And I'll share with you exactly what I'm talking about here, of how these patterns are not exactly what people say they are, okay? A triangle pattern doesn't mean we have no idea where it's going to break out, but it could break out. Anyway, let me actually just take these moving averages off the screen so I can just talk about the pattern and not the moving averages, right? The pattern is this. Look at this here. What do we have here? What do we have here? We had what? We had you can see like a bit of a descending sort of triangle pattern forming through here, as you can see, like that there, and we had that point there. See that through there? And notice how we squeezed right up to this point, and then we broke, and then we actually had a move to the upside. So that's what's happening there. So you can see an example here. This actually, textbook says this is going to break down, but it's not always the case, okay? So we could see that that's what's happening here with the mining sector. So really interesting. Are we going to start to break above this level here and start to make a move up? It's hard to say with GDX, because things like the GDXJ, we are right at the bottom of this here. So if I bring up my line here once again, and the line was up there because I was doing another training with my clients. But as we can see here, right, look what's happening here. We're almost at the slingshot pattern scenario. Okay, so we do have a bottom here. We do have a bottom here. We do have a bottom here. And we actually can see this descending sort of triangle pattern through here. We did indeed actually break to the downside, but now we're actually holding through here. So this particular pattern through here, you can see we're flushed down, and now it looks like we're trying to get back above this level, which is very, very, very powerful in the markets. And this could be the end of the move for the GDXJ. We're definitely trying to get back above this level here. And if we do, then we have a really good chance, guys, of running up to making a new high here. And if we do that, then guys, if we start to get this develop here and we do start to see a move up, this point right here is going to be and I'm not saying it is right now because we still haven't confirmed the pattern, okay? But if we start to get some more buyers come in, that's going to confirm we're likely to have this low here for many years to come. So just keep an eye on that, because remember, guys, when the market has this major support and we get a flush down and we get back above it, that's when we're likely to start to see some big moves. If I share with you silver as an example, if we go back through here to silver, I go back to the weekly chart here. Look at this here look at this here as an example, and I even said this to my private clients. I was just like, guys, here we go. Okay, I actually said this point right here. We have just now made the low for many years to come. Low, support, and all support. Look what happened here. We flushed down and then we got back above. Remember I said before, like with the mining sector, this is what I'm looking for here to see whether we can get something like this. Because if we can, then we're likely to make another nice move, what I call a slingshot move to the upside. So again, silver's not doing that, but it's just the pattern, right? So if we go back to the GDX, the GDX chart here, we can see one take. I took a drink. Anyway, we can see that we're still at the support level, so we're not getting that. But the GDXJ, we are getting that, so that could actually be a nice little opportunity. But here we go. There actually could be something happening with the silver mining stocks. Look what happened. Let's actually start off with the SIL first. Firstly, let's actually bring this up to the big picture first. Look what happened here. We had what? We had support. Look at all this support. Then look what happened. It broke down. Now let me zoom in on this one so we can see the big picture. Now we're going to go look at the small picture. And look what's happening here. We actually broke down and now we flash back up. There's a massive probability, no certainties, guys, okay, because probably 8 times, maybe even 7 times out of 10, we actually see this actually being this pattern. And then, which means a big move. We're likely to come up to here. And not only that, but I see this now being a low, and now we're on our way up to $60 on the SIL. Right? Probably 7 times out of 10, we get to the $60 target. That's where my target is from here, from this pattern here. And then maybe 2 or 3 times out of 10, we do this. So to me, guess what? That's my risk, what I just drew there. And that's my profit target, right? Because there's always a risk to any trade. It doesn't matter what the pattern looks like. There's no guarantees, okay, guys? So rule number 1 is whenever you are entering a position, say to yourself, if this is a losing trade, 1, where am I getting out for a loss? But secondly, if it is a loss, is it going to be a small loss on my account? If you can do that, the profit's going to take care of itself. Okay, because you can have 1 or 2 or 3 small losses in a row, and then suddenly a really good winner, and you're making money. Makes sense? So look what's happening here with the SIL. So that's what this sort of pattern is. So we're actually now getting, it's here, right? We are getting that on the SIL, and same for the SILJ as well too. Guess what? Let me zoom back out again. Major level of support. We broke down. Now we've got the slingshot pattern. Now we're breaking back up. That's the big picture. Let's go zoom in on that small picture. For the last sort of couple of months, we can see support, pull back, come back down. We had a bit of a pullback, and now we had a nice breakaway bar with volume. There's probably a 70% probability right now, guys. No certainties, okay? This is going to be the final low, and now I have a target of what's actually happening. I now have a target of, I'm going to burp. Oh, burp. No, didn't come. Right, 22. I have a target on the SILJ at $22. Now, how I get that target is this, guys, okay? Let me explain this here. A lot of the times when we get these false breakouts, if this is the false breakout, the end, what I call false breakout, end of trend indicator / slingshot pattern, right? That's all 3 in 1 here. If this is true and we are going to see move up, the first target is here. What I have found by these patterns is that once we actually get to this next major resistance level up here, then it goes up like this. We get a bit of a pullback for a little bit, and then we break, and then we go to end up 22. So I have found that short-term target is the other side of the channel, which is just there, around the $18 level. But what I've found is that once we actually get there, we get a bit of a pause and a pullback for a little bit. But a few months later, we're now at this level here. Now, once again, guys, this may take 3 months, this may take 6 months, this may take 12 months for it to happen, because there's no guarantee. We don't know. I'm very, very confident we're going to see this print. I don't know the timing of things. I don't know the timing of it, because we could just, 3 months and we could just do that. Here we go. I don't know. Or what we could do is we rally up through here, then we have a bit of a pullback for a week, and then we go for a bit of a week, and then we go for 2 weeks worth of sideways movement, and then we break. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know how it's going to plan out, but I'm confident of where things are going here. Again, I'm not telling you guys what to do because there is a risk to this not working out, okay, guys? I could come to you in 2 weeks time frame saying, you know what, guys? That false breakout, that slingshot pattern I was talking about, it failed. But high probability we're going to see that move to the upside. But once again, I'm going to repeat myself because some of you guys are YOLOing in these markets and you're going to blow yourself out of the water. Please, guys, don't risk a lot on the markets. If this comes down and you have to get out because it's a loss, firstly, get out if it's a loss. And secondly, make sure it's only a small loss. Simple, okay? Protect yourself. So that's what's happening there with both the silver mining sector, guys, is starting to ramp up big time. We're getting it. Here it is, and we're about to see some big moves out of the silver mining sector. So what do you think this guy's doing? Me. I'm not going to tell you what I did because I'm not going to tell you trading advice here and tell you what to do, but I think you guys know what I did. Anyway, but I'm always taking care of my account though, because there's no guarantees of any position making a profit, and that's the truth, which is always the hardest thing that most traders have a hard time with. I'm just trying to accept that this one trade they get into right now could be a loss. So if we have a look at the gold market, look at this here. Gold might be creating all right, John, spit it out. Gold might have already, I'm going to speak slow now, created a false breakout / end of trend / slingshot pattern in the markets. Let me explain here. Firstly, if I look at these markets here, and if I notice this black line through here, notice this black line. I was looking at this black line like, okay, here we go, lots of resistance, lots of support all through here, around that $1,700 level. And then we had this double bottom through here, okay? Market ran up, came back down, look what happened here. It bounced there. What I was hoping for was this. I was hoping for a flush down there, and then let's start to do something like that, okay? But maybe, just maybe, the market has done that, but we're looking at the wrong level. So what I mean by that is this. If I take this off the screen here for a minute, take that line off, let me go back to the weekly charts now, and let me show you what I see here. Look at this. Because remember, guys, false breakouts and these end of trends, these false breakouts, which is also creates like a slingshot move, can happen in different scenarios, okay? It may happen where you got a support level. You have support. If it breaks down and comes back up again, that's scenario number one. We can also get it where, where we got a channel. We've got a channel where the market's gone through the channel. Then we bounce, we break back down. Okay, cool. It's broken out of the channel, but then it gets back into the channel. Then we're now likely to move up. We also can do it with actual triangle pattern like here too, right? So we go through to here, we actually break out of the triangle pattern, but then we get back into it. And then generally what happens is we start to do something like that and it starts to go big move. Okay, so there's a couple of different what I call the false breakouts. And the reason why I call them false breakouts, but then generally creates a slingshot move, is because you can see here that in this scenario, we get a pullback and then we generally get a big slingshot move like that. We get a pullback and we get a slingshot move like that. We get a pullback, just like I shared with you guys on silver just a moment ago, okay? But look what gold's doing right now on the weekly chart. Firstly, we're right at that end of that channel, right? We're right at the end of these triangle patterns. And if one thing I've noticed by trading these patterns looking at these patterns for the last 16 years, almost 17 years now of my trading career, is I've noticed we very rarely do we get to the pointy end like we are here right now. Very rarely do we do that. What we do most of the time is this is almost 100%, right? So if you squeeze here, this is 100%. If you're looking at sort of a percent line, that's 100% and this is 0. Generally around the 80% level, we end up getting the breakout. But hang on a minute, maybe we actually did get the breakout, but maybe that breakout is creating the slingshot pattern, right? Because look at that here, we did get the breakout, didn't we? But look what happened, we came straight back into it. And now guess what? Now look what's happening. This major support level here, that's the big picture. If I zoom in right now and look at the small picture, look what's happening now. Oh my goodness. Remember guys, this is a weekly chart. Support here, support here. That was that double bottom. If you guys remember that double bottom back a few months ago. The market's come down, flushed down, come back up. Look at the last 2 weeks. This week here, supported it there, found support. This week came down, found support, and we closed up higher. Oh my goodness. Are we about to see is this the start? Is this the start of what all these gold people and those gold traders out there have been fleeing this market for the last 6 months? Is this the start of something incredible? Maybe it is, guys. Maybe we're going to do that. And I'm telling you right now, if we do start to get something like this where we start to break out, here we go, slingshot. Okay? That's right. And then suddenly the ching, and then the market does what it do, right? So that's what we're getting right there on gold. We're not getting it on silver. If I go have a look at the silver chart here, the silver chart, the silver's actually not. Let me actually bring up. I did draw something on silver. What was that? I did draw something on silver on another. Let me bring up here. Actually, I'll share something with silver, and then I'm gonna get to that amazing indicator that I've been looking at. It's like, oh wow. Anyway, so this is the trading view. I was just doing some analysis. I'm like, oh, this is actually quite interesting. Looking at this is the trading view on silver. We're looking at the weekly chart here right now. And if I look at the daily chart and zoom right in, you can see that on the short-term picture, we're still in a big downward trend. This may be, again, we're in a downward trend, so I can't really say anything about it. We did have a little bit of a support going through here, as you can see. So this sort of support line going through there is still in there. We are developing some sort of a, again, triangle pattern, so we could be getting ready for some sort of a breakout soon, just like I've shared with you with Bitcoin and even the other markets. But this here, we may be getting ready for that breakout, and then away we go. But here, look at this here. This is actually really interesting for like long-term buy and holders, guys. If I go to my weekly charts, look at this here. So I'm just going to take these two trend lines off the screen because I don't want to confuse you for a minute, but I really want you to focus on something here. This is, once again, this is that long-term over many, like we're talking like look at this here. I'm going to go back because I'm getting data. How do you say it, guys? How do you say data, or is it data? Data, right? So we have this. I'm bringing back a lot of data so I can go back to these major levels of where we've had a lot of problems in the past, right? But look what's happened here. Back in 2007, we had this resistance back here, which is around that 22, or roughly around the 21, right? 21 to 22 level. It's probably around the 21 level. Okay, you can see we have this sort of resistance back here. So you can see we had a resistance back here. We broke through it. We had a lot of confluence around this. You can see a lot of resistance through here, resistance, and not much going on through here. So you would say that if the market did end up getting down to the 21, that's going to be a significant level of support. And as you can see, we almost actually got down there through here, didn't we, on silver? And also through here as well too. So we almost got down to there, and that's actually keeping it up. So I didn't know silver kept it up, but anyway. All right, back to the markets. But look what's happening here also. Look what I've also noticed. There's also, see this other line that I've got drawn here? Look at this here. Oh my goodness. Now it's not, we're not talking about an exact finite number, guys, but we're talking about an area. Look what happened here, okay? So this is the starter point. We had a little bit of support through here. We had a bounce through there. Bouncing. Then came back up, had a lot of problems through there. And now we actually got back up. So what I'm trying to say is this, is that we have two significant areas of right here, X marks the spot. So that means if silver ever did get the drop down, because we never know, if silver ever did get the drop down into these levels through here, which is, if I now, that's the big picture, let me now zoom in on the short-term picture. Again, look at the do. So if silver did ever drop back down towards these levels through here, which would be, you can also see there's actually a bit of a strong resistance and support through there as well too. So from this last sort of point back here. So if silver ever did drop down into the 19s, 20s, wow. That's probably going to be a significant buying opportunity in the markets. All right, guys. So that's I just wanted to share that with silver as well. Let me just remove that trading view. So now, guys, I know I did promise you this amazing, this awesome indicator that's telling us what's likely to happen in the stock market, but you know, I think I'm just going to leave that out, and I think I'm going to leave it for the platinum guys. So anyway, guys, thanks for today, and I'm joking, okay? I'm joking with you. I'm going to leave it for my platinum clients. No, of course I'm going to share it with you. There is a thing called, and let me actually bring this up here. You guys, you're going to love this, all right? All right, so right now with the stock market, firstly, bit of a stock market update. As you guys know, I see a 5,000 print. The Nasdaq, another big update. Once again, I've always had a target of 17,000, and we're going there, all right? We're going. Don't fight the markets. As I said before, guys, people try to short the markets, and it just keeps going up. That's why I've been long for the last few months. Anyway, but I need to watch for turning points, but that's not happening yet. Don't fight the markets. Buy and hold all these markets, I tell you. Well, I tell you right now, guys, we're getting ready for something pretty big. Anyway, so let me share this indicator. There is a thing called the Fear and Greed Index. All right, there's a thing called the Fear and Greed Index when it comes to these markets here. Now, look what's happening here right now. All right, look at this here. This is something really interesting, okay? If you have a look at this this is the Fear and Greed Index here, and you can see we're pretty much neutral. We're not extremely greedy right now, yet anyway. We're getting there, right? But we're not extremely greedy right now. There's a few things here, like safe havens, extreme greed. We've got junk bonds, greed. We've got momentum greed, and blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm not going to bore you with all these things here. We've got a few here that are extreme fear, like stock prices, so on and so forth. But the one thing I want to share with you is this. Look where we are here on this particular thing here. All right, this particular fear and greed over time. Notice this here. Whenever we start to get into the 80+%, guess what? That's when what? You need to be fearful. Why? Because that's when most people are greedy. And notice this here was when? Right before 2021, before the market actually had a bit of a shakeout. When was this? Roni, right? And this point through here as well too. So it's not an exact science, but it gives you a barometer of what the market's telling you. But on the flip side, when we get into the 20s and below, guess what? Major buying opportunity. And then away we go, right? Now we pulled back. Look where we are right now. We've just pulled back from this low level, and now we're getting back up into the middle. So right now, even though what the market has been doing and is doing, we are nowhere near the, oh my goodness, right? Be fearful when people are greedy. Right now, the barometer says, okay, yeah, we're getting a little bit of a spike through here, but we're not getting into the 80 zone yet. Whenever we do get into the 80 zone, then there's probably going to be a bit of a pullback. It may not be a big pullback. It may just be a correction to get people shaked out, and then away we go again, right? Because nothing's certain in the markets. But looking at this fear and greed indicator, it's telling me, and looking at what's happening with the markets, and plus on every fundamental level behind these markets, 0% interest rates, trillions of dollars coming into these markets, especially fleeing from the bond market. Money from all around the world coming into it because they're negative interest rates, so they're trying to get some sort of interest rates as well too. Plus the Fed is doing 120 of QE every single month. There's a massive bonfire underneath these markets, guys. And this is telling us that we still have a long way to go before we start to get into the danger territory. So there we go, guys. That's a bit of an update for you this week. What an incredible week, guys. We are just getting excited. We're just getting started with the volatility, and it's going to be such an incredible week. Anyway, guys, because you're watching this right now, you are my 3%ers. 3%ers, right? So this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to put in NQ 17K. NQ 17K. Why that? Well, I see the Nasdaq actually on its way, the Nasdaq, I actually see the NQ 17K by the end of this year. And if you guys have been following me for the last few months, you know I've been saying the same thing over and over again because I'm still long the markets right now. No need for me to get out. So put in NQ17K. One, it's going to show me that you're the 3%er. And secondly, it's going to confuse the hell out of 97% of people who don't even get to this point. So right now, if you can, please do that. Like button, subscribe, and let me know what you think about what's happening with the stock market. But also put in that little NQ17K. That shows me you're the 3%er, and I'll speak to you real soon. Hey traders, I'm giving away 100% free access to my brand new breakthrough full trading course. This is 8 videos over 10 hours of pure amazing and powerful strategies. This is my most powerful systems and strategies that I've used for the last 16 years, and I'm giving it away for free. So this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link around here somewhere, a button or in the description or somewhere in there. Click on that and you can go get free access to my brand new breakthrough trading course. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now. Go to that right now, guys. You can get full, complete, free membership access. Go do that right now.